at the University of Colorado and the work and effort he put in, and so it's well deserved, and we're all proud of him.
You got your first career double-double tonight. Overall, it was a pretty aggressive game just from watching. They were,
Okay.
yeah.
Dog.
A pretty aggressive game on the hardwood you guys were fighting. They drawed a lot of fouls. Just what was that game like for you?
Yeah, I mean we're like on a 12-day run right now with practices and games, so it was a grind out there. That's for sure. But you know it was a little bit scrappy, I guess. You could see that at the end. But you know we fought and we kept ourselves in the game and gave ourselves a chance to win at the end of the day. So that's all that we were looking for.
What's the keys offense unique for you guys offensively? You know, you guys didn't shoot the ball well from three tonight, yet the overall shooting percentage was pretty solid in the end. How'd you guys kind of maybe work through those long-range struggles to obviously still score 86 points tonight?
Yeah, you know, we stress attacking the paint before we get jump shots. So that's a big thing for us every game is just getting paint touches. And I think that leads to better shots on the perimeter as well. So I feel like we did a pretty decent job getting to the free throw line and attacking the rim, and then just getting stops down the stretch when we needed to. There was a couple times we should have taken away some threes and little things like that we got to take away. But overall, we did a good job getting stops at the end of the game.
Tristan, the first couple minutes that they had that zone defensively, it seemed like you guys were struggling to get some good looks. What were you guys able to overcome, and what were you guys able to implement that you were able to finally get the offense going against the zone?
I mean, I guess at first we were kind of surprised that they were playing zone. It's just like a different look for us, you know, throwing that out there at us because we were preparing for man-to-man defense. But I mean, essentially, it comes down to just adjusting mid-game and you know, attacking through the high post and the dead area. That's what we tried to do, and it worked out for us.
How was the game plan different without Lawson tonight for you guys, especially at the forward position?
Yeah, I mean, Lawson and Luke were both out at the big position, so it was kind of tough. Then Jalen was kind of feeling under the weather today, so. You know, we had to make sure that we box out their big guys and make sure that we make them score over on defense, and you know, just fight a little more than usual, just to make sure that we don't have a disadvantage.
For either of you, this was a big stretch of games just to kind of build some momentum going into conference play. Do you feel like you guys were able to do that, I guess, at a high level going into conference play?
Yeah, for sure. It's a good feeling, winning 3 in a row, I think, now. So that should boost our confidence going into conference play. We get to go enjoy some time away with our families, but the main thing is we got to stay locked in while we're at home. Guys got to stay in the gym, get shots up, keep our conditioning level up, because we made some strides while we've been here, so we don't want to lose that when we go home. So if we just stick to that and know our end goal, we're going to be just fine and get right back to where we want to be, starting conference play.
Nick, are you playing a little more aggressive over this last week or so? Do you feel, or the last 4 or 5 games, do you feel like you've become more aggressive both on the boards and then going to the rim?
Yeah, for sure. I haven't been playing my best this season, and I've known that. So I've had to step up and be there for my team. And being aggressive isn't always shooting, but I got to look for my shot, but also be able to attack the paint and look for my teammates, because that takes some pressure off of Tristan, KJ, other guys as well. So I got to be aggressive in that way, and then just being a good defender. I think I could bring energy for the team and be that spark at times when we might need something going. So yeah, I definitely feel like I got to be aggressive for the team.
Nick, for you, Julian seems like he's strung together 3 or 4 really good games in a row. What have you seen from him, maybe in practice, that has led to this jump he's made the last couple of games? Yeah,
I think same with Ju. Ju hasn't been playing to his potential like he knows he can, and we've been going through it. So it's really good for his confidence and for him to see the ball go in the basket and be aggressive for us. So I'm definitely proud of him. He's been practicing well, playing off 2 feet, and taking care of the ball. That's been big for us. So he has to be a leader for us and be a point guard. So I think that's what he's been focusing on, and it's showing in the games.
Alrighty, any more?
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
chair up here.
You can do this chair.
Get one more. Get one more. Come on. Come on up here. Come on. BC, get over. All right.
Okay, everybody, we've got Coach Boyle, and also to introduce the 4 staff members that have been here with his entire time. Director of Operations, Bill Carton, Academic Coordinator, Assistant AD, Mindy Sclero, Coach Boyle's Assistant, Marge Marcy, Director of Operations for the basketball team, and Associate Head Coach, Mike Rohn. So, Coach, if you please start with an opening statement, then we'll open it up for questions.
Yeah, look, I'll talk about the game if you guys want to, but I know the questions that are coming. So it's really important that I had these 4 people up here with me, tonight, because they've deserved this and been a part of this just as much as I have, And Mindy was here when I got here. Our graduation rate is a testament to her and what she's done with our players. And I think she took a 1-year sabbatical. So technically, she's been with us for 12. A well-deserved sabbatical, by the way. I think we had wore her out a little bit with some of the guys we brought in. So, but we just got our grades in for this semester, and another really good job by her. She does as good a job in terms of recruiting for us. She makes a great impression on parents, and then she holds our guys' feet to the fire and accountable in the classroom, which is not an easy job. She'll tell you it's not an easy job, but she does a great job. So, Mindy, thank you. Marge Marcy, who's been with me from the beginning as well in our office, does more for me and my family than she probably needs to, but she's been a great friend, and she's been somebody who, through thick and thin, has been there every day, does so many things behind the scenes for our players and for our program and for our staff. You're a big part of this, Marge, and I love you. Mike Rohn, been with me all 12 and a half years. We were together 6 years at Wichita State, so after this year it'll be 19 years together. So he is as loyal and hardworking of a coach as I've ever been around, and he deserves a head coaching opportunity. He's our associate head coach, and I lean on him. I depend on him, and so Mike, thanks for your loyalty and hard work. And then Bill Carton, who I didn't know when I got here. I wanted to hire an NBA film guy because I don't know anything about film back then, and it's changed a lot. But Bill has worn a lot of hats for the basketball program, and he's a behind-the-scenes guy, and I think he kind of likes it like that. But that's why I wanted him to be up here tonight so people could see his face and know who he is. And when it's about contacting a former player or getting something done or remembering what we did 11 years ago, he's the guy I go to, and he's been as loyal and hardworking. And it's been great to see, Mike's 2 daughters grow up, and Bill's got 2 daughters in the process of growing up, and it's so great to see he and Ashley, and so these 4 people deserve just as much credit as I do, as do our former coaches who aren't here, and Coach Greer, Coach Ray, Coach Rubison, our strength coaches, Steve Englehart, Raleigh Klingsmith, our trainer, every former player and every current player. So to me, that's what it's about. It's not about me. It's about them. It's about what we do together as a team. So I'll take any questions, as they will too, I'm sure.
There was a lot going on the floor right after the game, but just wondering if you got a chance to absorb the video and the tributes from your coaching colleagues and former players.
I did. I'd like to rewatch it and listen to it a little bit more carefully, but I did kind of get a chance to step back and watch it, and it meant a great deal to me because everybody that's on that video has been a part of my life as well, whether I coached with them or played with them or coached them. And there's so many more people that could have been on that video who've had an impact on my life. So it was a special moment.
Did you know it was coming?
I did not. I had no idea what was in store after the game. So it's probably better off that way, because I was really nervous before this game, because we were without Lawson Lovering, without Luke O'Brien. Jalen Gabadon was up till 5 in the morning, puking his guts out last night. He sucked it up and got an IV and gave us good minutes. So we did this shorthanded tonight. And again, that's just a testament to our players and in our program.
Tad, you said when you were addressing the fans after the game that you're more excited about the future of this program than you ever have been.
Yeah.
Why is that, and how much pride do you take in that at this point, 13 years in, that you're just as excited as you have ever been?
I'm excited because I get to work with people like this every day. You know, that's number one. You get to come to the office with great people that work hard, that are loyal, that support you. I love the current players we have in our program, the young guys. And I love the recruits we signed. And I think, you know, as hard as Mike Rohn works and Bill Greer and Rick Ray on the recruiting trail, I'm excited about what lies ahead for us. I really am. And I think this year's team can be a really good team. But when I look at next year's team, I get really, really excited. And that's a good feeling. So it's a testament to, again, the hard work that these 4 people do on a daily basis that does not get noticed and recognized. And I want to recognize it. And our players work hard. They deserve a break right now. College basketball's hard. They get three and a half days with their family, and like half of each of those days is a travel day. So they get they make a lot of sacrifices, and so do we, you know. But it's time to hopefully enjoy a couple days, enjoy the holidays, and come back refreshed.
Coach Ronan, your 12 and a half years with Tad Boyle, what is a memory that you hold near and dear to your heart, or a funny story you guys have shared together? I bet there's a lot, but...
Make it clean, Mike.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That might even go clear back to Wichita State. And he might remember this one, but it's one we talk about as a staff a lot with Coach Prelo and Coach Turgeon from back in that. But there's a lot of stories, but I'll just tell you this one. We're in a heated game at Wichita State, and Coach Boyle's an assistant, Coach Prelo and I are assistants, Mark Turgeon's the head coach. And it was Coach Boyle's scout, and Coach Turgeon was on him about getting the matchups, because the assistants coaches are supposed to get the players all matched up during dead balls and whatnot. And it's a tight game, and so, head coaches get a little intense in those moments. But he said, Tad, get them effing matched up. And so Tad's trying to yell at guys on the court, and finally he just yells, just get whoever's got you. Kind of like, you do at the park. Like, hey, just get him, pick up whoever's got you. So, that's just one that we laugh about all the time. But, there's a lot of things. Our relationship has gone a long time, and I appreciate the fact that he believes in me. And so I won't get into any of the other stories, but there's certainly plenty of them. But that's one that we talk about a lot.
Tad, you brought up specifically the 5 players from your UNC days that were here the other day.
Yeah.
I was just curious, how many guys from this current team do you imagine you'll, in the decade or so, will think that highly of?
Well, look, I hope every one of them. I mean, the reason that we coach, the reason that we come to work every day is about the student athlete and building those relationships that are lifelong. They're not just for 4 years. So when I saw those 5 guys from Northern Colorado, and I know what we went through, because our first year there we were 4-24. 4 years later we won 25 games. So I saw that flip, and so to have them here supporting me on a night, like the UNC game, it touched me. It touched me, and it still touches me. So I hope I can have that relationship with every former player to some degree. And, the problem is every year you coach, there becomes more and more former players. So it gets harder and harder for me to do a good job of reaching out. So that's where I need support and help, and I can ask Zach Rubison or Bill Carton, hey, when's the last time somebody's talked to Spencer, or somebody's talked to, Nate Tomlinson or whoever, what's going on with Wes Gordon right now? Oh, coach, he's playing overseas. He had a great night the other night. So that's where I need help, and that's where I get help. So every former player is important to me.
Coach, first off, congratulations. RK wanted me to tell you congratulations also. But Tristan DeSilva with his first double-double tonight, how important is it for him to be playing at this level as you guys go into conference play?
Tristan's playing at a high level. There's no doubt about it. I can't believe it's the middle of his junior year and it's his first double-double. But, you know, he didn't play a lot of minutes his freshman and sophomore year, which is that's a legitimate point. But I think when he rebounds the ball well for us, we're really good because Javon Hadley we know is going to rebound. Nick Clifford's a good rebounder. We know Lawson and Luke, we got to get those guys back because they help us rebound. But, you know, even shorthanded tonight, we still out-rebounded Southern Utah, which is a testament to our toughness. But Tristan is coming in. He's coming. You can just feel it. You can see it. You can sense it. And we need it because he's important as we head into Pac-12 play now.
What was the situation with Lawson and what's?
He bumped his elbow in practice, and he couldn't like straighten it out. He was in a lot of pain, so he had an X-ray and an MRI. So hopefully the few days off can help him, and I hope he's back. But, you know, that injuries are so out of your control as a coach. You know, you just hope for the best, prepare for the worst. The worst is he doesn't come back for a couple weeks, or who knows? I have no idea, Pat. So. But he's a tough kid, so I know if it's stiff, it's hurting. It was real.
Going back to Tristan a little bit.
Who are you? Is that Neil Woe?
Somebody said there was something going on, and then, you know,
That's awesome.
it's Pat Rooney's 50th birthday.
Hey,
So that's why I was here.
There you go.
All this other stuff.
All this other stuff happens? Okay, all right, good. Sorry. Go on.
Going back to Tristan and also Nick Clifford, they seem to be more aggressive and just more aggressive over this last 4 or 5 game stretch, and like they want to take control. Is that?
Yeah, we need those guys to be aggressive. We need Tristan to be aggressive. Nick Clifford is really an important part of this team. For us to be as good as we can be, Nick Clifford has to be a big part of what we're doing, both offensively and defensively. So, you know, I think consistency is the biggest thing that I've had discussions with Nick about. Tristan has been showing consistency here. Javon Hadley's probably been our most consistent player from start to finish this year. KJ's getting better, you know, with his consistency. So, you know, look, everybody on this team is in a different role this year than they were last year. So sometimes you forget sometimes it takes some growing and some growing pains, and I said that before the season. I don't always believe what I say because I say we're going to have growing pains, but I want to believe it, you know. And then when they happen, I get frustrated and angry, but, you know, it's part of the process.
Yeah, we talked about Julian the other night after the UNC game, but he put together another really solid performance for you guys. How much have you just seen him grow these last 2-3 weeks? It really just seems like he's coming into his own.
Yeah, it's funny. I want players to get to the point where this may sound a little counterintuitive as a coach, but where they can block me out. Like, I might get on them, but if they can block me out and just go play, they're better off because of it. Because I'm going to get them at some point. It may not be when they're on the floor, but it might be in a huddle. It might be in the film room the next day. I mean, they got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. But when they're on the floor, if they can learn to say, okay, I hear what you're saying, but I got a job to do, and go make plays, that's when you know. And Luke O'Brien has gotten to that point. I sense that, you know, before he missed these last 2 games. Julian's getting to that point. KJ's to that point. Tristan's to that point. So you want players that are able, because guess what? You know who else they have to block out? They got to block out the crowd. They got to block out, especially when we're on the road, right? They got to block out the officials. They got to stay focused and on the task at hand. And so sometimes I'm on guys, and if they give me a dirty look or tell me to whatever, it's not always a bad thing if they go make plays. You know, and if they go make plays, I'm not going to be mad at them. If they do that and then they go don't make plays, then coming out of the game.
You guys are all such a close family. Do you guys do anything for Christmas? Have a staff Christmas party?
You know, it's hard. We're around each other every day. So the last thing I want to ask these people to do is say, hey, come on, you know, come spend more time with me. They need a break from me. You know, Mindy needs to get home and see family. Bill's got, like I said, a young growing family. So as much as I love them, I want them to spend time with their families and get away from Colorado basketball for a little bit and get refreshed. And then when we come back, hopefully we're ready to go. So, yeah, I'd like to say we have everybody over for Christmas dinner. But, we all have our own traditions as families, and I want them to experience theirs. And we just got to make sure every kid's taken care of, and they are right now. So that's the biggest thing, is to make sure our players are taken care of. Because Thanksgiving and Christmas, they're away from their families a lot. So that's, again, where I think our staff does a great job.
Anything else for Coach or in the panel? All right.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.